world's gone crazy. No ifs, and buts, or maybe. The world's gone crazy.
This world's gone crazy. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. This world's gone crazy. If you don't believe me, then relieve me of these beliefs. Whereby you receive me for understanding to perceive me. For beginners, you got a sharp tongue. That's really a dog one.
Changes. I'm not going to allow them to be at liberty to have freedom to be with my children. Now, I got a situation where I got two of my youngest sons by another situation that's with their mother, whose brothers are homosexuals, and she's having she's married to an affair with a married man, and they're supposed to be of law enforcement. You know, legal law enforcement. And I just want them to know we know what's going on with them, but I still have a great interest in protecting my sons in that situation. Now, I'm willing to die for my children. From the bottom of my heart. I'm willing to die. I've always been willing to die for my children, my wife, my friends, and that's just the way it is. And I sit back waiting to see what my Lord is going to do in regards to people that have some authority or some connection over my children, who I know the Lord has given me a responsibility of. I knew that, like my niece, that wasn't my responsibility. That's the responsibility my brother and his wife put on me as a child, and I did the best I could from 13 years up to try to protect that child. And when that child went out and made their worldly decisions, I accepted that. Yeah, I accept her decision to be a homosexual. I accept that. But I reject intermingling with her. I reject communicating with her. I reject having my children communicate with her. You understand? And I know that she, like all the other homosexuals, believe, well, I shouldn't say all, I'm not going to be so absolute, but most of them really believe that what they're doing is all right with the Lord. And I'm not going to tell them any difference, other than what I say about the Lord, is don't appreciate that. You know? But for all I know, you know, I mean, I'm not the judge. I'm not even going to play with them. Because I was about to say they might make it to paradise. I don't know. But I don't know. Because I look at homosexuality as a rejection of the divine commandments, just like I look at adultery. You know? If the Lord don't command that to be, then it shouldn't be. If the Lord commands against it, then you should be against it, you know. But if a person want to choose that way, they have a right to. But I am so tired, and I'm glad that I don't have to be in the field so much like you all. Are those faggots? Do they still call them faggots? Because see, faggots is really a bundle of wood. Right. But the gay people, those guys who try to act like girls, they gotta overkill. You got women out there, know they women, they confident in they women, being a woman, and you got guys trying to act like it, they gotta overkill. Hey! Yeah. Come on. And they overkill it, and then they acting out. You got supervisors, huh? At your job on the side out here, overkilling in their supervision. Who would put someone who don't know their own mind in charge of somebody else who don't know their own mind? Yeah. You know, then they're in charge of you. You got the government standing behind and saying, okay, homosexuality is all right. We got to please all the people. See, that's why you can't mix politics with religion. That's why you can't bring it into your church, people. That's why you got nuns doing nuns and priests doing little boys. And then you rejecting what is said in Revelation about the Pope and the priests and the nuns, because you don't even understand it. Allah said it over 2,000 years ago. They will be doing these little boys all over the world. And they doing. And they just moving them from parish to parish. And I'm sorry your name is Parish. But they moving them from parish to parish. And they still doing what they doing. Because the Lord said they would do it. You think about that, Gene. Let me wait. But whatever the Lord says is going to be, it's going to be. Just like the curse of the Crips and the Bloods, the curse of the African American people on them. Why? Because they rejected one of Allah's divine messengers. They rejected Elijah Muhammad. How can I stand up here, sit up here and say that? Because my Lord said he was a divine messenger, and I witnessed signs of him being a divine messenger. I witnessed signs of his works, which he himself could not have been behind, that the Lord must have put the angels on the people and raised them up. You see? And our people rejected it for the Caucasians. And they'll say, well, I didn't reject it for the Caucasians. It's a lie you rejected for the Caucasians. If you are the civil rights movements right now, you in the politics right now, you rejected it for the Caucasians. You went with Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson and all of them, you rejected them for the Caucasians. You know, you rejected it for a man. And that's something that we need to understand, we need to look at. And now those same people, those bestiality, homosexual people, we got that by nature. You know, ancient Greece and Rome and all that, they telling you that these things are all right, and then you get somebody like my mother who claimed to be a bona fide Christian who will accept that. Okay, God is all forgiving and merciful and kind, so yeah, you can come to church, girl. Well, would you have a wine when sitting up in there stinking of a wine? See, that's the way I look at it.
Back to what we were saying again. We have to look at so many pictures that have been painted for us as African American people. Excuse me. Another strong picture that was painted for us was Martin Luther King and all them guys holding hands, walking and getting their crap beat out of them.
Yeah.
Those are pictures painted for us. Come on. Us with the true warrior spirit, whether we're female or male, we ain't walking nowhere, ain't nobody throwing nothing, ain't nobody holding us down. Dog get to chasing us, we get to chasing the dog. You understand? So they had a heavy effect on this gloom and homosexuality as well.
Yes, we do.
I mean, they might have meant well, but you know, the Lord said, fight those who fight against you. The Lord never told.
They violated the Lord's commandment.
The Lord never told anyone. See, they always try to say things for their own benefit. The Lord, in no holy books that the Lord sent down did he tell. If that was the case, Moses would have never got out of where he was at in Egypt and went to Mount Sinai. He would have never made it if the Lord told Moses, you don't fight. Moses fought and got out of Egypt. So Moses was divinely guided.
Jesus fought.
Jesus fought. Abraham and them fought. Jacob, all these
Israel fought. That's how he got the name Israel.
They all fought, but they fought for the cause of Ahezaah. You know, and then here we go, African American people, we told to get beat up. I mean, I remember when I was a child, my father used to tell me, someone hits you, you better hit them back. You know, and people really meant that. They didn't tell me to kill a person, but they said if they hit you, hit them back. Hit them with the same force that was hit you.
Look at the laws they put in the schools, dear mother.
Oh yeah.
You know, your child get hit, he's not supposed to hit back, he's supposed to go to the authorities. Well, we teach our children differently. But at a time when some of our children didn't hit back and went to the authorities, nothing was done but, you know, a little reprimand and the children kept on doing it. I believe in the divine word, the divine laws. You fight those who fight against you. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But it's better to leave it with the Lord Most High.
And now they try to act like our great grandparents was ignorant, because you know back in the day, if you hit your grandmother was hitting you back.
Well, look at what they did with Roots, Fabian. they made one person in the whole film of Roots, and all them black slaves, only one person wanted to escape. Kunta Kinte, only one person. Huh? May Alex Haley, hell. Need I say more?
You know, so that's.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Even in the matter with the civil rights movement, think about when the protesters was getting beaten by the police and the government authorities. You know, after all those years, none of those people that did the crime by beating those children and sticking them
never brought to justice.
never brought to justice, except for a couple of old men.
Oh, who's about to die.
Anyway, got brought to justice.
And then we need to look at it when Martin Luther King birthday comes, they show Martin marching, white people marching with Martin and everything. Come on, out of all them kids that was killed in that church, all them people that died for Martin cause, where really in this day and time, what have we gained?
We gained the African, Caucasian, American, fronting like he's a Negro, going for president.
We didn't gain equal pay.
Right?
We didn't gain fair housing. We didn't gain nothing. Oh, no, let me take that back. We can drink from the same water fountain that they drink from. But the Caucasian fixed it to make sure you got a black park here and a white park over here. And we don't even have means of transportation to get to the white park. And yeah, we all go to the same bathroom, but don't you go in the backwoods of South, you'll find out you be peeing in the woods.
And another thing is about being in this great land of the free. Let me tell you something. If you get off the freeway, when you're traveling down south, you may become one of them statistics.
Right.
That's why they call it the freeway. It ain't got nothing to do with the highway. See, highway makes sense, don't it? High speed way. That's what a road is. See, every road, they don't tell you. Every road, your city streets are called highways. Legitimate highways, because they were paved for high speed vehicles. High-speed automobiles, because we had low-speed vehicles. We had low-speed, horse-driven cars.
Right.
Okay? So they made the highways, which is your local streets, and then your super highways, which is those highways where you can go to astronomical speeds, which they're tricking you with that. Now they make it 55 to 65 miles an hour and give you a car that can go 300 miles an hour. Say, go ahead and try it and get fined. Right. You understand? Well, now where the freeway come in at? Is it because you don't have to pay to get on it? Almost all the highways is free. You get off that freeway and you find out how free you are here in America. When you get tarred and feathered and drugged by a car, tied up and drugged by a truck, or hung and burnt.
Like Michael Jordan Falls, right? Got off that freeway.
Got off that freeway.
And the son
ain't said a word.
Bill Cosby.
Yep.
Huh? Can't say nothing.
That's right.
And it was wrong what they did to that dog. That was American. That's how they felt about the father and Bill felt about his son.
Yeah.
It was wrong.
Well, you can't say nothing. Because people have made their gods men. Their lords, their masters men, and they fear them. If you don't believe in the Lord, if you don't have faith, and we probably won't even have time to get on faith and the sensing of Ahezaah, but if you don't have faith, you're not going to gain knowledge. Yeah. Or if you don't have fear, you're not going to gain knowledge to have faith. Huh? And if you don't have faith, you're not going to recognize your sensory perception of the Creator. That's at all places, at all times, in the essence of matter and air and oxygen and everything else, water, whatever. You're not going to recognize its mental being, in essence, that's in the presence. You know, which is at all places, at all times. You know, so we need these things, man. You can't have that and make men your gods, politics your religion, civil rights your religion. You know, Africanism, like these brothers and sisters calling for the spirits of the dead. The dead died, they couldn't keep themselves in this life, and you calling for the spirits of the dead to help you, to give you some information that they may have died with, and it's gonna give you strength. Well, all you gotta do is look in the book of the dead to understand the book of life. Because in the book of the dead, they got the truth about the book of life. But how many people understand the book of the dead? Because it's written in Egyptian. So how many people understand the book of the dead? How many people understand the Bible for real? Because it's written in Aramaic and other languages. How many people understand the Holy Quran? Because it's written in Arabic. Huh?
You know what? It's so funny. I just had this story. You know how people be calling on the dead. I used to call all these dead people come up and say, hey, man.
Running like hell.
It remind me of that Abbott Costello thing. Remember when?
Buckeye dude, turn around, haul ass, and like the guy, and I said, I'm a man. I can be at war and use the language of our people. I kindly ask you not to do. But in Thunderball, when the brother said, I don't know about you, Mr. Bond, but I'm getting the hell out of here. They took that and threw that through us so many years back in theater when that guy did that movie. You see Thunderball? When the dragon was, the mechanical dragon was coming out of the cave, and the poor brother said, I don't know about you, Mr. Bond, stretched his eyes, but I'm getting the hell out of here. Remind me of the brothers back in the day, man, you couldn't get a job unless you knew how to buck your eyes and act like a coward. And they've been trying to make us cowards all the years since our so-called Emancipation Proclamation freedom. They've been trying to make us cowards. They want to kill. That's why they used to take our warriors and the brothers who try to escape, they take them as an example and hang them for the people. Hanging was not to torture them more. Hanging was to make an example, torture the minds of those onlookers. That this was gonna happen to you. And if that ain't good enough, I'm gonna tar and feather you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Castrate you. I'm gonna do whatever, because see, Caucasians hated that black men had very large so-called organs.
Yeah.
You know, and they hated that their women appreciated black men, Negroes, you know. So one of the things is when they hung them, take it, castrate them.
Jesse Jackson said that in my song. He said it about someone.
Oh yeah, and he said he want to take his Richard.
I know one thing that easy manifest here is a sign though. And to the brothers and sisters watching the program, don't be institutionalized in your mind anymore. Ask the Lord knows how to bless you to be freed up to serve it and come out of the jail of your mind. See, people in prison, even the brothers that's incarcerated, they're not incarcerated behind those physical bars. They're incarcerated in their physical mind is locked in because they make themselves beastly in their mind, so they act like beasts when they come out of there. And they don't know no other way. I was sharing a story about my cousin who's incarcerated. And he was giving me stories, he went to Holy Cross years ago, and he's serving his time out now. And he realizing now that a brother I know that's the CEO of the jail that he's in.
He met me,
You know, cousin Raheem. And
he's been snatching and throwing behind his back,
you know. And I know now he's thinking about all these things he said, and he's writing down. I said, why the family don't write him? I said, well, tell him I said how we talk to him, but I ain't got nothing for him now. Because when he was out here, he thought he was extra slick. He thought he could do the better way. Now he got to serve his full term out because what got him in jail, he was doing robberies down in Trenton, living in his brother's house and got his brother in trouble and everything because he just wanted to be that slick. And so I said, you sent him? I said, he mad with everybody in the family, but we don't write him.
But see, he need to be mad with himself for hurting the family and for ignoring Allah and getting himself in that position, Because that's like I said at your show, I'm not sacrificing myself for nobody. Y'all. Jesus said I will take down your mother if she do you harm and go against me. So I'm not gonna stand up for her. So I sure enough ain't standing up for anybody else and trying to take me down away from Ahezaah's cause. You understand? Now you got people, man, they do all this stuff, they can't hear you talking. As soon as that Ahezaah say, okay, that's it for you, put them down. Then they want your sympathy. They want you to step up in front of Ahezaah. That's what they want. Cool, be a shade for me from my Lord. Be an umbrella for me from my Lord. Because I need you. You needed us before. Actually, you needed the Lord before, but you needed the message that we brought, and you ignored it. You know, I love my brother who passed. I love him so much. He had got locked up a few times, and he came to me earnestly, and he said they putting false charges on me. They want me to be a rat. They want me to tell what's going on in the community. And because I won't do it, and because I know some cops that's involved in these illegal things, they threaten me and they drive me around and let people see me in their cars and act like I'm rapping. And they locked him up a couple of times. And he said, look, I went to see him. He said, look, never. I don't want you to even see the inside of the jail. He said, if I'm here for 100 years, don't ever come. He said, don't even write me. And I couldn't fathom what he was talking about, but he had wisdom. I had a cousin that got locked up that I didn't know was locked up. And I was trying to do charity for the Nation of Islam. They asked us to go to the jails and do all that things. And I understand what they was doing. Now they trying to get the jailbird brothers, so they have the hard brothers and have a hard front line, and they can go out in the community and get all the gentle brothers. That's why where Muhammad, how he took advantage of the Nation of Islam. He knew that most of the brothers were gentle brothers, cowards, and then you had the frontline brothers, the lieutenants and captains and stuff. And so he said they were goons, but they couldn't help it. They had that in them. And Elijah grabbed them up. But they did their thing in evil. But they had these other brothers trying to do their thing in good. So this demon came and destroyed them. You know? In his own thuggish way. But I went to the jailhouse and was surprised that my cousin was there. And he was walking up against the wall, eyes bucked out his head, man, like he was in terror. And I asked, man, I said, Johnny, what's up, man? I didn't know you was here. And he said, yeah, I've been here for 6 months. I said, what the heck going on? Your mother, nobody said nothing. He said, yeah, I know. I said, why you acting like that? He said, you gotta watch your back in here. And I said, damn, I would never be able to sleep if I went up there and seen my brother walking against the wall like that and acting like that. He said, that's the way it is. And I looked around, I seen all the incarcerated brothers doing the same exact thing. And my brother said that, what was that jail up there? What's it say? Caldwell was the easy one. And I was at Caldwell, I said, if this is the easy one and they're acting like that, then how are they acting at the other ones? You see, the thing is, people have a tendency that they ignore Allah and they curse Allah and they do all these things, they try to outslick Allah, and then when Allah they pull a number, they want to cry and say, I give up, Dad, I give up. No, too late. When I'm coming with the belt, too late. You got to take your chastisement. Now, are you going to take it like a man or a woman and fess up to what you've done? Or are you going to be there and try to cover yourself with the sympathy of everybody else so that they'll fall asleep on what you did and against me and love you in defiance of me, make you their friend, and wonder about my chastisement on you. Ain't that deep?
You know,
your cousin got a lot of nerve.
Yeah, and all of them do. They do. And it's sad, you know, but I was saying that some people live in hell while they're free. If they but took hold of trying to get themselves together for real, they would be, even though they're locked up, because everything starts with the mind. Heaven and hell is in the mind.
And everybody's incarcerated. And everything is incarcerated.
So when they make that transition to jail, then they should be able to get to that place where they need to be in their mind. You know, but it is wrong. It is really a sin. It is wrong because out of love, we allow our kids to spin on Ahezaah out of love. Because we have a tendency
You
to
know,
love
out of
not-
ignorance.
out of ignorance. We have a tendency to loving something that Ahezaah has created for us as a trap. Ahezaah said in Quran, I give this to you as a trap. And we forget that, and we erase, and we do other people wrong out of our love for our loved ones. You know, but I thank Ahezaah much, and it's not something you get to overnight. But if you sincere and you're seeking Ahezaah and want to do what it is to get near to Ahezaah, those is one of the things that you have to do. And that to protect your own soul, because see, your love for your children and your spouse ain't going to save you on the day of judgment.
No.
So you have to recognize who created them and who creates the situations for them. You understand?
And recognize that they're not yours.
Right.
They're just a trial for you. They are owned by Ahezaah.
Right, and they're just alone.
They're just alone.
You know?
Just like you are.
And that you stay safe, and you stay safe with Ahezaah, and you help them be better. But if you got some weak links, honey, your children is the first to spot it. And your children know how to play on you. I don't care what anybody says. Your children, from the time they are almost an infant, they study you and start mastering you, start manipulating and everything. That's what children do.
Well, Ahezaah said in the Holy Quran that, you know, for those who reject it and ignore it and turn away from it, deny it and denounce it, that I will curse you or damn you and your offspring and their offspring, and so forth and so on. And Ahezaah mean it in his wisdom, and because let me tell you something. If your children see that you're not right, and you call them right, and they see that you're not right, they looking at you, they weighing you. You're gonna do one or two things. You're gonna make them great hypocrites, deceit artists, or they're gonna despise what you're doing. And in that one or two things, they're gonna either be found or lost. And most times, they are lost. Unless they learn to curse their parents, learn to curse that which they love, learn to curse that which bore them in the womb. I mean, curse it for the cause of Ahezaah, for the purpose, for the love and the acceptance of the Lord Most High, who put them in that womb.
Jesus has Ahezaah so much with man, because he lived the same in the Bible. The mouth of Jesus said the same thing. They said, the mother and your brothers came looking for you. And Jesus said, who are my mother? And who are my brother? That is who are my father is my mother and my brother. Not my biological, like the story Noah. That's not your son.
Right.
Same thing.
Isn't it attributed to Jesus like come separate the mother?
Oh, the mother, daughters, father, and son. Yeah.
Right. And you need that separation. Without that separation, you ain't surrendering.
And people ignore that wisdom. We got 1 minute to go. Boy, this has been a conversation from Urbanversity. And what is it, 2 minutes, 30 seconds? More people, they telling us we got to go. I love you. We want you to tune in again. You know, you can reach us at P.O. Box 8795.
If you don't believe
Have a
me,
good
then
one.
believe me.
Yeah, I ain't the peace and blessings within about the present. Look what's next time.
For beginners, you got a sharp tongue. That's really a dog one.